What's up, Dreamedia family? This is Zach. Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about a trade show that's coming up, the Florida Audio Expo. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are going to be exhibiting with our friends from Fidelity Imports and Perlisten, as well as Prime Air at the Florida Audio Show in room 1015. We are setting up something a little different that you don't typically see at these hi-fi 2-channel shows. We are going to be setting up a full Perlisten Dolby Atmos setup in a 5.2.2 Dolby Atmos configuration with their reference series. In particular, we are going to be featuring the R7Ts left and right, as well as the R5C as our center speaker, and then the R4Ss for our overhead elevation speakers, and the R4B bookshelf speakers at the rear of the room, in addition to 2 of the R212s. It is going to be rocking, guys. I can't wait to meet up with all of our subscribers, shake hands, and just hang out, listen to some good tunes, as well as some awesome movie demos. One other thing that's gonna separate our room out from some of the other rooms in the space is we're gonna be featuring Samsung's brand new 77-inch OLED with the anti-glare, the S95D, which hasn't even hit the market yet, so you guys can check that out in person. We have our friends from Kaleidoscape partnered on the space as well. If you haven't heard of Kaleidoscape, it is the ultimate movie player for reference level audio and reference level video. So we're gonna be playing some of our favorite movie scenes as well as concerts. One thing that's really cool with Kaleidoscape is they have live music concerts that you can play back so you get a visual and that audio experience. We're excited, guys. Come down to the Florida Audio Show and hang out, listen to some good tunes, watch some awesome clips, and hear what Perlisten's all about. And we're also going to be featuring the Prime Air, in particular the SP25 and the Prime Air 35.8 amplifier. These are separates, really good quality, made in Sweden, beautiful interface. I can't wait to show these products off. Anyways, guys, we're going to be doing a live stream with our friends from Audioholics, my good friend Gene, as well as Bart from the Florida Audio Expo, and Steve from Fidelity Imports. Let's get into this live stream, guys.
All right, my friends, happy Friday to everybody. This is a special live stream event. We got Florida Audio Expo. We've got Steve Jam from Fidelity Imports, and we have Zach from Dreamedia. Next week, we are going to be attending this show. We wanted to talk to you guys about it, get you to come out to Tampa, do a meet and greet, get to listen to some great high fidelity audio. And I'm going to turn this over now first to Bart to talk about what Florida Audio Expo is. Why do you do it, Bart? What's it all about? Give us an introduction about it. This is what, the 6th year of you running a show like this.
Thank you, Gene. Thanks for having this podcast and giving us a chance to explain it a little bit. Yeah, my partners, 3 partners, all music lovers. They've been friends for years. We decided to start this. One's a engineer for the city of Tampa, one's a audio dealer, and one's a physician. But we met through the local Audiophile Society. I was president of that for several years, had that honor, or dubious honor maybe. But we love music, and I was an exhibitor at the shows at Capitol, Expo, Rocky, and I kind of got to know what things were about. Well, first I was an attendee at all of those shows, and then I got into the business a little bit, and that didn't work so well, but I was doing room acoustics, very high-end stuff, and I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of the media, and so anyway, after a few years of kicking around, we decided to do it. And got off to a good start, really. We didn't lose too much money the first year, but we enjoyed it, and we knew there was a future in it, and we pursued it. So this will be our 6th year, our 5th show, because the 1 year we had to take off for COVID. But we came back strong, and this is our our third year post-COVID. And it'll be our biggest show ever. I think our attendance is going to be really awesome. And it's just a lot of fun. You know, like, what can I say? I love the people in the industry for the most part. They're great people. Our attendees are super. You know, I was just promoting our show at the boat show. And it was really kind of interesting because people were walking around. They weren't smiling. They didn't want to make eye contact. I mean, a lot of them. Whereas at our audio show, people are smiling. Strangers are interacting and engaging. And there's a lot of just the love of music. Mm-hmm. And I honestly believe that music brings out the best in us. And that's kind of why we do this. I mean, I'm on a mission to turn off the news and turn on music and make yourselves happier and make everyone around you happier at the same time. Music is magical. So that's really what it is. Yes, it's a business and people need to move their products and all of that. But there's also the love and the joy that are hand in hand, you know, part and parcel of the whole thing. And one thing we've done a little bit differently this year, we're always looking at ways to bring in new folks. And we hired a marketing person to actually help us with that. I mean, we've got a great team. I'm the face you see of managing it, but I've got excellent support. And people like Eugene are really part of the whole program. Without you guys, we don't have a show. It's really that simple. But, you know, like Cobuzz is our official streamer, and they do a great job. And Suncoast Audiophile Society and a few other societies are active in helping us. And then I've got, you know, Sue Toscano Communications doing our PR work.
She's great.
And Denise from D-Vision doing all of our graphic stuff and putting our guide together. And what a project that is. But so we work really good as a team, and we've been together since the beginning 6 years ago. So that's just really awesome. So anyway, bringing in all these new people that have never been to an audio show before presented another opportunity, not only to, you know, show them the etiquette of not talking too much in the exhibit spaces, but a lot of them, they're music lovers, but what do they listen to in a system? So we compiled this little handout that we'll be passing around to everybody, and it kind of demonstrates different things to listen to. And I'll just pull one out, like soundstage. Well, what does that mean? What do you want to listen for? And so what you're going to do if you're new to this is ask one of the exhibitors, whoever's in that room, and they can explain it to you in a way that will make sense, and very likely have one track that they can play that will demonstrate that particular characteristic very clearly. And I'll throw it to you, Steve.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say first, you know, thank you to everybody on the call for this opportunity. It's an awesome event. Audio needs more things like this. We at Fidelity Imports, I believe this is our 4th year at the show. We've been growing every year, our presence. You know, the first year we had one room and we really fell in love with it. It wasn't just because it's Florida in February, although that doesn't hurt. But you know, this year we'll have 6 rooms and some of the best of our portfolio showing there. And we're going to have product for every person, right? Depending on how into audio you are, if it's your first system you're looking to build, or you've been doing this for a long time. And I think being approachable is important. So when you mention something like what to listen for, and especially when you think about soundstage, you know, our team for sure, and I know that a lot of other vendors will do the same thing in helping to explain some of the concepts. You know, some people would call them audiophile terms, and sometimes that gets a bad rap, but knowing what to listen for is important. When you think about soundstage, think about, a jazz ensemble. When you are sitting there in front of the speakers and you're listening, does the sound travel beyond the borders of the speakers? Does it sound like the musicians are playing in their own time and space? If it does, it's probably a good system. And that doesn't mean that that's what everybody likes. You know, Bart and I have had this discussion before. You know, some of the best measures of a good system. When you walk by, a lot of people, we see it as a vendor, they walk by, they peek their head in. Does what you're hearing sound like music? If it sounds like music, that's got a lot to do with the tone. If it's inviting and you want to go in, you want to listen, that's great, right? And then when you're sitting there, is it something where you feel like you want to pour through your record collection, or you want to stream all of your artist's favorite albums because you feel like you're hearing them for the first time? Is there that level of you're going to lose hours? At Fidelity, everybody here has the feeling that if we put you into a system, or if we help you curate a system and you lose hours, that is nirvana. That's exactly what we're about. If you sit there and just think about, well, if I upgraded this component or that component, that's really not what we're after. Everybody wants to move product. They, as Bart said, they want to sell, their brands, but it's the system, it's the curation and the enjoyment you get out of this. And I think that one of the things that's, really exciting for us at this show, even more so than the previous years at Florida, audio is a bit of an insular hobby, right? If you have a system and you're passionate about it, who do you share it with? How do you share it? Do you bring a buddy over, or, a couple buddies over, and you're like, hey, come on in and come down and sit on the couch and listen to music? So the audio show can be a bit of a community, right? You're going to get to meet Batman. And if you guys don't know, if you haven't seen Gene before, Gene's built like Batman. So you can come to
old Batman.
Not old Batman. Hey, you're in much more fit than I am. But I'll say, in one of the rooms we're going to have, and I don't want to steal Zach's thunder, so I'll let him do it. But we're doing a partnership with Dreamedia in one of the rooms. And when we started talking about it, we said, how can we do something different? And what we're doing is we're bringing an opportunity for you to have a meet and greet. You can meet Batman. You can meet Zach, another really, look at that guy. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure he's the Ken doll. But this is the opportunity to come together and, really talk about your hobby. Talk about your passion. Yeah. If this is your thing, it doesn't have to be an insular hobby. It can be a lot of fun. And again, the last thing I will say, and you'll see this in across our 6 rooms, there are so many paths to nirvana. It's about losing hours. Whether that means you're looking for a planar magnetic speaker, an open baffle speaker, a dynamic speaker, whether you want subs, whether you want multi-channel, whether you're a cinephile, whether you're an audiophile, it doesn't matter. If you enjoy the media, the content, the music, the movies, then our job is done. So that's really what I hope. I hope you come out, come say hi to us. We have 6 rooms, all different budgets. It's very important for us to show a room that's as approachable as possible. We'll have a room that the entire room is about $8,000. Everything in it, all the music, and it will make real music for $8,000.
Yeah.
So,
you did some great demos last year. In fact, I just want to show one of my favorite demos at the entire Florida Expo last year was this system. It was a Perlisten monitor with 2 subs. And this was not the most expensive gear at the show. No. But the fact that you were able, that Dan Romer was down from Perlisten, and the fact that he was able to take, was that an Audio Flight amp?
It is. It's an Audio Flight integrated. And,
okay, see, I'm in love with this brand because I didn't even know that brand at the time, but then I heard him again at CEDIA, and this is a brand I want to learn more about because this system, it didn't have bass management. Dan set it all up in the subs. He just did magic in this room. Everything just worked out, and the speakers disappeared. Literally disappeared. The bass was slamming. It was tight.
He's totally a wizard, Gene, and I think that's another opportunity. If you're into Perlisten, you'll get to meet Dan. This year, we've got a treat, and again, I don't want to steal Zach's thunder. He'll talk to you about that in a second, but a lot of the brands we'll have are from outside of the U.S. Perlisten happens to be a U.S. brand, but whether they're from outside of the U.S. or in the U.S., we'll have some of the people, the families, the people that build these products will be in our rooms. Yeah. You can meet them. You can talk to them. So it's going to be
another cool brand that you had. I don't know if I even say their name right. Is Diptyque?
You got it right that time. It is not you. That's a French planar magnetic speaker. And this year we'll power the Diptyque with the Audio Flight. So you'll get to hear those 2 brands. And Zach's going to talk about what we're partnering with Perlisten at this show and how we're doing something different in just a second. But yeah, thank you. And we've got a great stable of brands. You know, we scour the earth trying to find brands with stories from people who are artisans, in many cases, families that are building them. That's what we do. This is the stuff that we would buy, we would put in our home, that we love.
Yeah. No, and the reason why I wanted to bring Zach here for a multitude of reasons. Number one, Zach is a certified Perlisten dealer. He's been doing systems. Zach, you've been designing and integrating systems with Perlisten, and you're going to be at the show. So it's always an awesome opportunity to, you know, be face-to-face with each other, do some video collabs. Zach's got more energy than a 5-hour energy drink.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get into it. I really appreciate you having me on today, Gene, and I'm very excited to meet you, Bart. This is going to be our first year at the Florida Audio Show, exhibiting and putting stuff on display. Big thanks, Steve and the Fidelity Imports team, for collaborating with Dreamedia on this project. I can't tell you how excited we are to put in a full-blown Dolby Atmos system at a 2-channel hi-fi show. It'll be really interesting to see the feedback. But like Bart said, and Steve was discussing, it's really about the culture, right? We want to get together. We want to have a good time. We want to listen to your favorite music, play some of your favorite movie scenes, and really just blow your mind. We want to give you an experience. We want you to hear things that you've never heard before in some of your favorite movies and music, which we're going to be bringing in on our demo space Kaleidoscape, the ultimate movie player, to have some really good movie scenes as well as live concerts. We're going to have the brand new 2024 Samsung OLED, the S95D, that matte anti-glare OLED TV from Samsung, in addition to the full Perlisten setup. Our guys at Fidelity really put together an amazing package for you guys to listen to. We're going to be featuring the R5C center speaker, as well as the R7Ts left and right, in addition to the R4S, which is an elevation speaker for overhead Dolby Atmos effects, and then the R4B bookshelf speakers at the rear of the room, and 2 R212s for a full 5.2.2 Dolby Atmos system in a hotel room. So it is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. And then for our processing, we're going to be featuring the Prime Air SP25, as well as the Prime Air 35.8 amplifier, so the separates, to really give you guys a full immersive experience.
Cool. Awesome.
It's going to be fun.
That's awesome. And, you know, the R210Ss were there last year, and they were incredible. So a 12, it's just going to take it to the next level.
212s.
212s. Bart, this could set precedent for the following year that you guys do more multi-channel rooms, and you expand this out to a multi-channel. Because honestly, here's the thing: when you guys are talking about music, people look at my theater room and they're like, man, you must watch the best movies all the time in there. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, when the weekends hit, like tonight, I'm not going to be watching a movie. I'm going to be going in there and I'm going to be spending 2 or 3 hours just listening to music. But when you have a system that's so tuned, like Steve said, you lose hours. I lose the weekend in my theater room listening to music. To me, that's a success.
It's what it's all about.
One of my friends says go into La La Land, but that's it. And something a lot of your viewers may not be aware of, but we produce, when we're engaged in music, the same or very similar neurotransmitters and stress hormones that one does in deep meditation. I studied meditation under a Buddhist monk for 2.5 years. I didn't live in a monastery, but 2 nights a week when I was in town, I was at the monastery. And it's amazing. It is so beneficial to your physiological and emotional health to do this, to shut as the Buddhists say, shut the monkey mind down and disengage and be not judgmental. And my goodness, we all benefit from that so much. And to your point, I would love to get more home theater in there. For years, I don't have a dedicated listening room. It's my living room. And I love watching concerts through my system. It's it's just another level of escape, and it's fun to actually watch when everything's synced right. You can watch the keyboard player and the drummer, and everything's in time.
Yep.
And actually, with symphonic, I've learned to identify the various instruments, and it's a great education for us when we're doing that. So it's really cool. And
the beautiful thing is Zach is bringing a kaleidoscope, so there's no better way to experience live concert events than on a kaleidoscope. I mean, you could stream all day long on an Apple TV, which I do, but taking a kaleidoscope is taking it to the next level because you're getting lossless audio, you're getting the very best picture quality. I'm looking really forward to checking out that room for sure.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting at a 2-channel hi-fi show to do some spatial audio. I mean, there's so many amazing tracks now that are even being remastered with spatial audio. If you haven't experienced it before, you got to come by the Florida Audio Expo and check out our booth. It's going to be a blast, guys. And we're here as a reseller of every single brand that you see in the space, as well as many other options. And here as a mentor to really guide you through all of the different options that may fit your exact space and budget. Like Steve said, we have a wide variety of options from very entry level to extremely high end. So we have the perfect setup for you, and we'll tailor it to your exact room and your ears. You know, we want to calibrate it. That's kind of part of one of the key elements that aren't discussed a lot whenever people are selling gear is the calibration. Here at Dreamedia, we really want to go above and beyond to ensure that you get an exceptional listening experience.
Yeah, and you know, one thing, Steve, I like about your line card is you don't just have cookie cutter, you know, mass market brands. You have all these unique brands. Like, I didn't even know who AudioFlight was last year, and I immediately fell in love with that product. Knew nothing about it, and then I heard it again. I don't know anything about Premiere, but from what you showed me, this could be a great alternative for people that are buying AVR receivers that don't just want a black box. They want something that looks nice and has the performance too. So these are brands that nobody's covering online, and I definitely want to get AudioHawks more involved with these brands in the coming years.
We want the same thing, and I think, you know, you nailed it. Well, you got diptyque right, you got Premiere wrong, so, you know, you're 50-50 today. But,
Premiere, what is it?
Premiere.
Premiere.
Oh, I was close.
You were close.
I butchered it a couple times, Gene. Don't beat yourself up.
Give me a year. I'll get it down in a year.
It's an interesting brand. I mean, I think the thing that we do, and I'll try to be quick, but I'll give you a little bit of my background. You know, I've been in audio for all my life, college dropout. Like, this has been all I've done my whole life, right? I started this company because this was my passion. I would work at larger scale audio companies, and I never owned their gear. I always lusted after these interesting brands, these really cool boutique type brands, products that were made from artisans, from craftsmen, seemed like it was built on a bench, right? So that was what I was always interested in. And, you know, as COVID was happening, like a lot of people thought about a radical sabbatical, something different in life. And I thought to myself, you know, if somebody put together a portfolio of brands with stories, as all the consolidation was happening, and you guys have seen that, I won't mention any names, but lots of great stalwart brands have been all wrapped up together by bankers and venture capitalists and all these people who sort of take some of the soul it leaves. It's like that magic smoke when you blow up a product that leaves the product. The soul leaves with it too. And, you know, those are great products. You can spend your money on that. But at the same time, for not more money, you could buy products from families, products with the legacy, with history, from artisans, from craftsmen, from all over the world. Or you could buy a product, you know, that is science-based. You could buy a product that's somebody's work of art, like a Stradivarius, right? A violin that's created with love. So that's what we're about. It doesn't fit everyone, but we try to give you something, regardless of your budget, that feels special. You know, it's for a discerning buyer.
We got a question for you. What is that? Is that a streaming preamp under the picture in the background left from you?
It's a printer.
What is that? Or is that? It looks like a Nintendo NES.
That is a printer. Yeah, I have audio, but it's on the front side of here. So if you were to look in front of me, there would be some audio in here. I'm surprised nobody said anything about the cars. That's Sterling Moss in 1955 with a record that still stands for the Mille Miglia in Italy, 1,000 miles at 98 miles per hour average nonstop. So car nut, again, I think a lot of us are, right? If you're into audio, your brain sort of swings towards mechanical things in cars. And so come on out. Even if you don't want to talk audio, come chat cars, but then you'll probably have to tell me to shut up at some point. So.
Yeah, Steve, I was on a car website a few weeks ago, Savage Geese. I don't know if you know them. I
saw your post on Facebook, and I was living vicariously through your Facebook.
Nice. Okay. We have a question here for Bart. So after 6 years in the audio show business, what is something new going in practice that will set the Florida experience apart from other shows?
Oh, I'm glad you asked it. That's a great question. So one of my partners is Amir AJ from Suncoast, or what's his name? Soundfield Audio. And he's been building speakers for many years, and it has a very nice product. He's gotten some great reviews. My other partner, John, the physician, has been a hobbyist, a do-it-yourselfer since he was 16. And he's no spring chicken anymore, shall we say. And he has done a complete do-it-yourself room. It is diagonal across from, so my two partners are diagonally across the hall. And his speakers are not for sale. He did it for the heck of it, for the fun of it, for the love of it. And not only do we want to move into having more home theater at our show, but we'd also like to have some more do-it-yourselfer stuff.
Yeah,
it's at the end of the day, all of this is about the passion for music at different budgets. And a young couple starting out with a kid, chances are he can't afford, $5,000 even for a system. But he's got a career going, very well maybe, a physician or whatever. He'll have money down the road, but right now he's just got to make do with what he can. And so this is going to be really fun to see what John has cobbled together. And so it's, we all love music. There's different ways to get in there. And that's another beauty of the show is you go from room to room. There's no high pressure sales whatsoever. We're going to have 80 live exhibits playing music, and then record sales and some other stuff going on. We've got the USF School of Music Jazz Ensemble playing in the evenings in the lounge. So, there's just, we're celebrating music. And the joy of music, and so that's really what it's all about at the end. The four of us could go to different rooms, and we probably all have a different favorite.
Yeah,
I mean, we all hear differently. We all have different values. We'd be able to agree that these rooms are great, but I just kind of like this one better. And for those that are newer and less experienced, there is so much knowledge and advice. And you're not going to agree with all the advice you get. And just like, reviewers are awesome, and I admire what they do. And it's a lot of work to review a product and then write about it and try to articulate it the way you feel. But we all have different ears and different values. So
we all have different priorities in what we determine is good for our needs. And that's why I always tell people review is a good guideline, but at the end of the day, you have to make sure the product's right for you.
Exactly.
There's a wonderful quote from the founder of MTV. And he said, "How much science can you apply to something that's art?" That's what we do. It's art, right? Yeah, the specs are one thing. Yeah, this should fit in that room, that much power, but there's an art to it, and, when we look at people like Gene, when we look at people like Zach, they both have a piece of that chain, right? So when you think about how to build a rounded out system, Gene will get you product that's built solidly. He'll tell you about stuff that's built well, no fluff, no snake oil, as he says. And the guys at Dreamedia will help you curate it, right? How do we put the whole thing together? And then do you need it installed? We'll do that.
And
Right.
make it look good too. Don't like it look like a science project.
Yeah, that's another thing we do here at Dreamedia that doesn't necessarily apply to just this trade show, but we do full-blown design services, all the way to renderings, 3D animation, fly-throughs, sightlines, screen size, seating charts. I mean, the whole 9 yards to really bring your aesthetic up to par with the audio performance so that the whole system is just stunning.
Look, and I'm going to say something that might not be popular with my audience, but it will resonate with people at Florida Audio Expo. I know there's a trend online for sciencing everything out, that if a speaker has to measure CTA 2034, it's got to look like a straight line and be perfect. Otherwise, it's garbage. That's only a small part of the whole experience of the loudspeaker or the audio system. Even with amplifiers, I always show measurements of amplifiers. It doesn't always look stellar on the test bench. A lot of the stuff's not audible. It's just on the test bench. But at the end of the day, the person is not just listening with a microphone, right? They're experiencing the product in a room. And if the product looks like ass, they're not going to enjoy the product as much as something that actually looks like a piece of art, something that's crafted nicely, something that has a nice finish. And that's a part of the equation that you just can't understand until you actually sit there and you're with the product, experiencing it in a room. And that's why a show like Florida Audio Expo is so instrumental, because it gives you that tactile connection to the product. You sit down, you listen to it, but you also experience it, and you see if this is going to fit in your room, and if you connect with it emotionally. That really enhances your listening perception. It's not just listening with your ears, you are listening with your eyes.
Absolutely, Gene. And then there's the room effect as well. How far are the speakers off the walls? I mean, the shorter frequency, sub 300 hertz, is going to make a big difference. And so there's an art to positioning the equipment. You just can't just throw them in the room and walk away and think you've got it optimized, because you don't.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, Bart, to your point about the DIY stuff, we did a review recently on a DIY kit from Dayton Audio. I thought it was going to be a dead review, but we got like 20,000 views on our YouTube video on it. We got a ton of views on the article. There's a demand for DIY. And in fact, I think next year, and if you want me to put you in touch with Parts Express or Dayton Audio, they have speaker building competitions where they have all the DIY people design their speaker, come out to their facility and do competitions, and they award whoever has the best sound. You guys could be doing something like this at Florida Audio Expo. You could invite speaker builders, have a room set up where everybody could bring a speaker and they could just do listening events on that. I think that would be kind of a cool addition to your show in the future.
Very interesting thought. Yeah, very interesting.
So I think that we're going to wrap this up, but I want to say we are going to do a meet and greet. I think it's going to be at the Perlisten demo room on Saturday. I'll be there. Steve, I'm sure you'll be there. Zach, let's plan this. I want to shoot a video first, but I'm thinking like around after like 1 o'clock, spend an hour in the room. And if people want to come up and, you know, meet and greet, take pictures or whatever, we'll be there. I'll be there. And I think it'll just be fun to meet, you know, our enthusiasts, people that read the website or watch our YouTube videos, and just, you know, put a face to everything that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be really fun. I thoroughly enjoy meeting all of our subscribers. I can't tell you how thankful I am for everybody's support from all over the country. It's absolutely unbelievable. And meeting you guys in person really warms my heart. So I'm looking forward to this event.
So I'm going to show you guys. It's February 16th through the 18th in Tampa, Florida. All the details are in the video description below. What's the name of the hotel again? It's the
Embassy Suites, Tampa
Embassy Suites,
Airport, yeah. West Shore. They couldn't make it much longer a name than that. But
yeah, it's a long name. Bart, is registration still open? Can people still buy tickets?
Yes, tickets are available online, and they'll be available on site. So
okay,
no worries there at all. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. And the hotel, this is our 6th year there. So every year the service gets better, the organization gets better. And yeah, we're just looking forward to a fantastic time. And yeah.
And it's, you know, just to let you guys know the scope of the show, it's not like 3 or 4 demo rooms. We're talking about is it 12 stories, 12 floors?
Yeah, 12 stories, 80 active rooms playing music, and then the records and other stuff beside. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward, Zach, to meeting you and hearing your stuff. I love it. I mean, it's just another experience. There's so much.
It's gonna be a blast. I can't wait.
Yeah, and Steve has been awesome over the years, and I look forward to seeing his new products and everybody else's. There's just so much stuff to do and wonderful people to meet. The industry people, for those that haven't been to a show, this will be your first. You're in for a treat. That's all.
Are you going to have live music again, Bart? Last year you had a harp player that was awesome. Like every time you were walking down the elevator, there was a lady playing the harp. I think that was a touch of class.
No, Isabeau can't make it this year. She's in Canada. She'll be back next year, but we will be having the jazz ensemble playing every evening.
Is that every evening?
Yeah, they start around 6:30 and they go until about 10:30, 11, something like that. And we're community minded. I mean, these are the college kids, and they're good. They are really good.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, we hope to see you there next weekend. I'll be there, like I said, on Saturday. The show runs all weekend. It's in Tampa. Hope you guys can attend and enjoy and get to experience some of your favorite audiophile products. Steve, Zach, do you guys have anything to add, or is this a wrap?
I'm good. I think we covered everything. I'm just really excited to meet everybody who's watching. Come on out and have some good old-fashioned fun.
Awesome, guys. If you like this video, please hit the thumb up, hit the subscribe. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support, and we will see you next week at the Florida Audio Expo.
All right, guys, well, that is a wrap. As you can see, we're really excited. All music lovers coming together, hanging out in this awesome setting where we have all the industry's best speakers, and we're doing something a little different here at Dreamedia. So I'd love for you guys to come by, say hi, and let us blow your mind with this amazing setup that we're gonna have at the Florida Audio Expo this year. We're just getting our feet wet with actually exhibiting at these trade shows, and are looking forward to a full year of meeting and greeting at all different locations around the country, and we're gonna kick it off here at Florida. CES was absolutely amazing. Had a good time there. If you guys are interested in checking out that content, check the links down below. If you guys like this video, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button down below for more. And don't forget, guys, go over and shop our online store. We have all the best brands to choose from, and would love the opportunity to earn your business with that free nationwide shipping. Till next time, this is Zach with Dreamedia Home Theater. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one, guys.